Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips. I'm sorry, I gotta do this to you.
I think that the DC Extended Universe is a colossal disappointment. As a fan of DC Comics, as a fan of comic books in general, I find this universe to be just tacked on and pointless. The reason for this is that every DC Extended Universe movie that I've seen, they just lack in quality. They can't really bring these larger than life characters on the big screen without somehow messing up the source material, without somehow making some change that doesn't make sense, without somehow putting in some addition that really doesn't bring any heft to the movie. So you have movies like Batman v Superman, which they put in Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and he resembles nothing of the previous character. He resembles nothing of what we know about Lex Luthor. And it's just these decisions that make me question the future for the DC Extended Universe. I don't get how they will progress forward without having all these setbacks in mind, all these rewrites, all these problems that they have that we're going to talk about today. So I wanted to talk about this and get into the problems of the DC Extended Universe and the stuff that they could fix and the stuff that, in comparison to Marvel, why they fail so much. Because these movies, they get big box office returns, but I don't believe that the people behind it are passionate about the projects anymore because of the money they receive back. They receive more back than their budget, which is the case for Man of Steel. So it's like, at this point, what will stop DC from pumping out a crappy movie? I mean, they make some form of return back tenfold when it comes to putting out a DC Extended Universe movie. So what will stop these directors from saying, hey, Batman's in the movie, I can put butts in seats? You see what I mean? There's no quality standard there compared to Marvel. Now, what I'm seeing in the news is disheartening. When you see like these articles and pieces about Ben Affleck supposedly bailing as director on the Batman project, when you see that he might leave as a rumor, all of this stuff is very disheartening to DC and Warner Brothers, but I believe they just don't realize it. They just probably don't care. When you have the only thing that's good in one of your films, which is Ben Affleck as Batman, just bailing on a project, that is serious business. That is more serious than you realize. I think that after seeing Batman v Superman, Ben Affleck was great. Like, I thought his Batman was amazing. The voice changer, it made sense to me instead of the whole chain smoking Christian Bale like voice. I really liked how he presented himself. I really liked the warehouse fight. But there needs to be more to a movie than flashy visuals and a grimdark story, which is what carries through from Man of Steel. Like, they have these flashy, over-the-top visuals that is in the vein of Zack Snyder, but that is not all that carries a comic book movie. You need heart, you need story, you need development. And this is what I'm going to get into right now. I believe that Marvel has this. If you look at their Infinity War video, they have been setting this universe up for so many years, and this is the culmination of all their work. The reason why DC fails in a lot of departments, in my opinion, I believe, is structure. Structure is something that DC lacks. The structure is broken when their live action TV series isn't even in the same universe as their movies. Everything feels so interconnected when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So when you see references, when you see things that are in that universe that crosses over either from TV to movies, that makes sense to me. When it comes to DC, on the other hand, it seems like they want to pump out their big team-up movie way too early just to compete with Marvel on the Avengers. You see people that are supposed to be in the Justice League not even in Justice League because they need their own solo movie to set them up. Green Lantern is so far out and he's not even in JLA. So this baffles me. Why is Cyborg getting a solo movie in 2020, but main key characters in the Justice League aren't even in the Justice League movie? It makes no sense. You see, Marvel takes their time to set up the characters through individual movies like Ant-Man, you got Captain America, you got Thor, and then it all culminates at the end of the phase when they have the Avengers team up. But DC doesn't have this, and their movie structure is all over the place. Now, that's not to say that DC is full of bad choices. Them adding a Batman movie to the DC Extended Universe timeline is still a good thing in my opinion. It sets up Batman. Batman is massively popular. Everyone loves him. He's a household name. So them doing this with Ben Affleck, it seems perfect. But now the movie is having a lot of issues, which is a bad thing. A lot of people are coming out and saying that these rewrites, they were ass. The original scripts were ass. So that's why they have to rewrite the movie. And that does not sound great. Now, I'm not a filmmaker, so I have no idea what I would do in the realm of film, but if I were being a logical businessman, I would step in and take a break on this project. I wouldn't scrap it entirely, but I would take a break, think, and reevaluate what I'm doing. Take your time on things, DC. That's all you gotta do. Take your time and see it through, because their animated movies, amazing. Absolutely wonderful, fantastic. The only animated movie I watched that I really didn't like was The Killing Joke in the first 30 minutes. Other than that, their animated movies are incredible. Full of lore, rich and fulfilling, full of interesting characters, witty, sarcastic, and downright evil people. As far as the villains go, at least. I love the animated films for what they are, but they can't emulate that same quality when it comes to live action. Now, like I said, what you need to do for quality is take your time, think, and reevaluate what you have to do. So what DC needs to do is they need to reevaluate their structure. Even if you have to take a page from the books of Marvel, emulate their success to your own benefit and craft something unique that you can take from the animated movies. Use that structure and lore and put that into the live action movies, but have the structure of the DC Extended Universe differ in a way where everyone gets their own one-off movie leading up to the Justice League culmination, and then you reset and make another phase. So that's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Simple as pie. One-off movies to introduce the characters, then have them in the team up. It makes the perfect sense. But once again, we have this disorganized and bloated structure, and I do believe that because they get so much bank on the movies that they can just keep pumping them out for ages, but the fans will call it out. The fans will say this movie was legitimately bad and I don't like it, and I'm not going to see another one because there is no quality control. None. Zero. So there should not be a reason why the Lego Batman movie has superseded one of the most anticipated comic book movies of the year, Batman v Superman. That just shouldn't happen on any universe. That should not happen. A movie that was in the making years ago somehow flopped all expectations. Now, there is one thing I want to mention, and that is giving other directors creative control. So what Marvel likes to do, especially in the MCU, is they let a lot of other people, a lot of other visionaries in the directing industry take over, give their ideas, give notes as to what should be directed in a certain scene, how a certain movie is going to be coordinated. Every movie shouldn't just have either Zack Snyder on the helm to the point where you put a gun to his back because he's messing up so much. Get other visionaries in there. Get other people that have creative talents. Build your network. Go out and collaborate with these people and they will make something possibly great. You can supervise them. Of course you can do that. You can supervise them and make sure everything is going swell. But I believe the reason why Marvel is so successful is because they work with so many people. they have so many collaborations going on, and they get things done in a relatively short amount of time, at least when it comes to the Netflix shows now, because we're getting Punisher this year. This freaking year, people. We're getting the Punisher on a Netflix show where he is going to be at his most gritty, raw, and hardcore nature. We're getting Spider-Man back this year after so many legal battles of getting him back after the Amazing Spider-Man 2, after so many headaches that must have came from that because Marvel didn't own the film rights to certain characters anymore. We're getting the freaking Spider-Man back on the silver screen. That stuff is incredible. You know what I like to see as a comic book fan, as a fan of these movies? I like to see good news like that instead of bad press. And I am a huge DC fan, and they're just disappointing me film-wise. If all else fails, reevaluate, learn your mistake, and fix the issue. If all else fails, go back and rely on what makes your brand so great with the animated movies. Bring them to the silver screen. They're amazing. They're amazing. In the end, we're the fans. We are the people. We are the ones who pay to put food on your table. Go for quality. Go for complete quality. Make your movies the best they possibly can be, and people will buy them. People will make sure they are highly rated in terms of reviews, because not every critic is a liar. I have seen Batman v Superman. I have seen it. I gave that movie a chance. It was absolute abhorrence. It was that bad. I didn't like it at all. It had some quality traits with Ben Affleck as Batman, but that's about it. One good thing does not make a bad movie shine through the darkness. Remember when we had the Dark Knight trilogy with Christopher Nolan? Remember when we had great adaptations like V for Vendetta? Hell, even Watchmen, which is directed by Zack Snyder, is still a watchable movie to its credence. It's all true. So here is my note to you, DC. I know you can make quality. You have made it in the past. Apply it to the now. This is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed my problems and discussions about the DC Extended Universe. And as always, take care.